once again back. Welcome back to Ramblers Radio. I believe this is episode number 15 of the show. We appreciate you guys viewing. Our views since we've done the rebrand have gone up, not by a whole lot, but they've gone up a significant amount, both on YouTube and on Spotify. So we do appreciate that. Be sure, if you enjoy the episodes, if you enjoy the podcast, make sure you like the episode, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and leave us a review on Spotify if you may do so. All right, Code. It's been a busy summer, man. So how has it been?
It has. It's been good. My summer is actually turning into hell pretty soon here. Last week is pretty busy. This next week's gonna be pretty busy. So we'll see. And honestly, this summer we were gonna log in, but it was so demotivating. Let's be real, guys. This whole debacle, not only with the show, but with the complete toxicity and just trashing of the fan base. It's been horrible. But we're here, we're doing it. And doing all right.
I've been trying to put my grind on over the past week or maybe 2 weeks, but we just haven't had enough content to sort of drill on. Because people don't like looking at content of the old stuff; they like the new stuff. So that's pretty much the gist of it. But we are going to get into some new segments. The only things that we have, there isn't really anything new that I didn't cover last episode. Last episode was the big thing, is the new leaked animated show. We're actually going to talk about that for about a couple minutes because I would like to hear Code's thoughts about that. But other than that, we do have that show that's been leaked. We do also have Star Wars Outlaws that comes out August 30th, which is a little over a month away. So take it what you will. There's been a lot of gameplay and whatnot about that game. If you want my personal opinion, I'm not super intrigued about the game, but I kind of like it that way because I'd rather have very little expectations and have it be surprising rather than having super high expectations and it not being very good.
Yeah.
Or you could be like Jedi Survivor where you have super high expectations and it's still really good, but that's a rare occurrence. But yeah, that's all the main news segments. We also had a poster leak for Star Wars Skeleton Crew, which we still don't really know the release on that one, but we can try to stay posted on that.
One more thing.
Yeah.
For all 20 of you out there, Star Wars Hunters Season 2 comes out August 1st. Get ready. 2 weeks. We're doing it. All right.
Yeah. You see this out?
Mm-hmm.
See it?
That's me.
Okay.
That's me.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, Code's appealing to his audience.
Mm-hmm.
He likes the mobile players, but yeah.
We're starved right now. You gotta get what you can get.
Yeah. All right. So I wanted to hear your thoughts, Code, about the new leak of the animated show that has been leaked from. If you guys don't know, if you guys don't listen to the last episode, the leak came up because there was a job opening regarding a new project that is apparently supposed to take the time around the Bad Batch or even after the Bad Batch, centered around clone troopers again. So D. Bradley Baker, you are not unemployed. You are coming back. So yeah, that's another thing that after Bad Batch, we're like, are we gonna see clone troopers again? And then how long has it been? 2 months later, we found out, there's going to be another freaking show about Jango Fett's clone troopers.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's exciting. I'm my biggest complaint about Bad Batch Season 3, especially the finale, was all the loose ends that were set up. And I thought there would be a show like this, a clone show. But I wasn't certain it because the way they were marketing Bad Batch Season 3 was sort of like the end of an era. But it's looking like we are going to get it, which is super, super, super exciting. It's going to be great to get. I assume we're going to get some sort of conclusion to all the clones as stories, and that's going to be really great. My only expectations are that um, at some point at the end of the series, it ties into the Rebels, where we find the clones in Rebels. That's the only thing I really care about too much. But other than that, they could go a lot of different ways, and it's pretty exciting. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much all the gist that we have of it. We don't really. It's only been confirmed by a leak. We don't have any more news regarding it because
Yeah.
of how new it is. So that's all we're gonna say about it. Let's get into a different show. So, in case you all didn't know, the Acolyte, the first season of the Acolyte, finished up. I believe it was a week and a half ago. Uh, and or it might have been. Was it
It
last week
was
or
less than
was
a
it the week
week.
before?
It was last week. It was like a couple days
I
ago.
I don't really remember,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna keep it a buck. You're gonna know why I don't remember. But yeah, so the Acolyte season 1 has finished up. It's pretty much been all but confirmed that season 2 will be happening, which is kind of weird because the Acolyte will only be the second live action show that goes past a first season. Even though we do know that Andor season 2 is coming pretty soon, and then Ahsoka season 2 will be down probably like a year and a half, 2 years down the line. So yeah. So if we had to guess, we'll have Andor season 2, and then probably Ahsoka will come after that, and then the Acolyte will return after that. That's how I hope, personally.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
saying, that's how
I'm
I hope.
guessing. I'm guessing Andor
Yeah,
season 2 will come out no later than next year. I believe they
yeah.
started
The
filming earlier this year.
yeah. The official trailer for Andor season 2 has already been leaked. It's been leaked for quite a while.
Yeah.
And we know that they've been finished filming for like a few months. So if I had to guess, if I had to give a rough estimate, it'll be at the beginning of next year, is what I would say.
Yeah. That's fair.
Because the Bad Batch isn't around anymore, and that shows usually come up in the beginning of the year, and now something else can take its place. So yeah,
Hmm.
Acolyte season 1. Code, I want you to go first. What are your overall thoughts about how your expectations, if you had any, and your big main gripes, or maybe even what you think the show did decently well?
Yeah. So this show was a show that I didn't necessarily have I didn't have really any expectations for it, but I had high hopes. I'm really into the Sith, and really intrigued about the whole 1,000 years that we never got to see. Of course, there's glimpses here and there. Oh, go read the Rule of Two book. Nah, I'm good. Um, and so I was really interested. I was wondering if you were going to get anything cool with the Sith. Unfortunately, that only came in 3 seconds in the finale, but that's besides the point. So I had high hopes, low expectations for this. Um, when it initially came out, the first 2 episodes I thought were serviceable. There were things with them, but they were all right. And then it fell off. Um, we got a flashback episode that was horrible, probably the worst thing I've ever watched. Completely disrupted the flow of the show. And then we got back with episode 4, which almost felt like a lag episode. It felt like we were sort of like nothing really happened. They kind of just walked through the forest, and it was really, really lackluster. It felt like the show grinded to a halt. And then all momentum, all investment I had was kind of gone at that point. And then episode 5 came, and I thought it was decent. But the the story I just didn't care for anymore. I at this point I've grown to hate Osha and May. Um, the dialogue was pretty corny in that episode, and there were just things that kind of soured it. But episode 5 was by far the best episode. And then we get another episode that grinds it to a halt. We get episode 6 where they walk around a spaceship, and we have Vanestra, who is a horrible character, a horrible actor. Um, and then it grinds even slower to a halt by taking us back to the flashback. The flow of this show is absolutely horrible. And then the finale, and at that point, it was kind of like, all right, wrap it up, get it out of here. This show had some very intriguing concepts that I think if this show was written a lot better, I think it could be really great. I think the idea, the concept of the twins, and the different scenarios that can come out, that have come out of that, are really good ideas. They just really weren't played out very well. The flashback stuff was really, really bad. And when we were in the present, it felt like I don't really care anymore because of other factors. Um, Despite that, I don't think it's as bad as people say. The Star Wars community, many of them have not even watched it, or are watching it so jadedly that they just want to hate it. I don't think it's as bad as most people are saying. It is not great, but it is pretty bad. Um, to finish out, as for positives, number one is a positive I think most people are going to agree on, which is the choreography. Apart from the fist fight mirror match we had in the finale, I think every fight in this show was really, really well done. People can say, "Oh, it's too flashy. They're doing too much," but that's literally the same people that will say that will say the prequel fights are good, which have the exact same issue. So I just thought it looked awesome. I thought the fights were great, especially now that they have like the super heavy light up lightsabers. I think they did a really, really great job. With all of the action in this show. Um, and my second positive is Soul, which I'm sure we all can agree. Soul was the only above average character in the show. He had decent motivations and he had a decent character arc. I think they did him a little dirty in the end, definitely. He could have gone down a little more dignified. In fact, he wasn't even in the wrong for killing the mother, which I'm not even going to get into that right now. But I think he could have gotten a lot better, but he was serviceable. So overall, I've rambled on, but this show is, I want a season 2 because there's still potential and because a season 2 won't hurt. You may as well just put it out there. It's not going to affect the timeline. So make a season 2, whatever. I don't care. This show is very lackluster. It is not very great. Unless you're a diehard, I wouldn't recommend watching it. That's about that.
Yeah. Yeah. This show has been mainly criticized from a few concepts. The first one is that the sort of conception of Osha and May is something that not a lot of people like because it harms the legacy of Anakin Skywalker. Though I do sort of agree with that in a sense. I do believe it would have been better if the witch's backstory was explored a little more. That's the reason why I didn't really, looking back, I just don't really think they're really appealing because they're just viewed as this cult that was banished by some existential force and now they're here and
Yeah.
nobody knows about them. So it's like it's kind of hard to like them if we don't know why they're like so persecuted or whatnot.
Yeah.
And then another thing, yeah, something that I did not like a lot at the beginning, but I sort of understand it now, is the witch's interpretation of the Force. As Star Wars fans, we shouldn't really feel like the Force should be interpreted in the same way from every character. It's sort of like a dramatic irony. Like the Force is viewed by in many different ways throughout, specifically the last few years, of course. In Ahsoka, the Great Mothers call it the thread of destiny. In Jedi Fallen Order, the Zevo called it the life wind. And then and the Acolyte, these witches, the witches of Brendok, I guess, I don't know if they have an actual name, they call it a threat as well. It's sort of a witch twist there, witch correlation. Uh, yeah, they Jedi don't know who the witches are. They assume, I believe, in episode 7, the Night Sisters were mentioned, but they're not known as Night Sisters because they don't use the dark magic. They just wave their hands around, which
Exactly.
is another scene that I think was absolutely bad.
Oof. Yeah.
But there is one thing in the finale that I absolutely despise. and it's the fact that Osha and Kamir are looking all smoochy, smoochy, lovey dovey.
Oh
What
yeah,
is that, man?
yeah,
That is,
yeah,
if we actually see that developed more in season 2, I might bawl my eyes out because
yeah.
in episode 6, Osha's like, "Oh no, you killed Yord, you killed Jackie, you're a bad guy." And then all of a sudden, like after Kamir sort of appeals to her, she all of a sudden is like, "Oh, I guess you're not so much of a bad guy. You killed my friends, but I guess you're not. I guess you're not so bad, aren't you?"
She snaps
So
instantly. The moment she gets
yeah,
that realization, she turns instant like goofy cartoon villain like evil mode and just completely
yeah,
throws away her entire character. It's sad.
yeah. And there's so many things in this show that I think was goofy. All the stuff between Soul and May in episode 6 and episode 7, or not episode 7, episode 6 mainly, and sort of episode 8 as well. The whole thing with Soul and May is goofy. Like, how do you not know that it is not Osha because you spent so much time with her in the past? So you
Yeah. You
sort of force identity is something that's been explored, but not like super recognizable
and you can't see
to
that
see. But
giant white tattoo on her forehead. Come on, bro.
yeah,
Come on.
yeah,
let's let's be real. Let's be real.
yeah,
Also, that
yeah.
flashback episode should have been condensed into one episode. Let's be real. There were so many reused scenes. They could have just made that 1 hour long episode. There was no reason.
They literally reuse so many scenes, but from a different angle. Like they
Yeah.
just had 2 cameras. All right, save that footage for episode 7. Like
They literally the episode would have
kinda,
been so much better too because there's so much in episode 7 that makes episode 3 better, but you have to wait like 3 episodes to get that. And it feels horrible.
yeah.
If it was all condensed together and showed right on episode 7 right before the finale, I think it would have been much better.
We also see so many cool things about Torben and Kelnaka. Not so much Indara. I really do not like her character. But Torben and Kelnaka, we see so many cool things about them, but it's like
they're already dead.
Like 3 or 4 episodes until like they're dead, like easily. We didn't see any of them in present day, and they didn't really have much of an impact in the flashbacks. So it's like, what's the deal? Like why are they there?
Here's episode 7, right? Yeah. Oh, Torben wants to go back. Okay. And Kelnaka gets okay. Oh, this was we and you were laughing when we watched this. Kelnaka gets mind controlled, and then Indara takes the mind control off, and then all the witches just die. They're all putting all their being into controlling this one guy, and then they take off the spell and they all just collapse and die. Like, what is this?
It's like what Luke did in The Last Jedi, except they're not like like across the galaxy. They're literally on the same planet.
They're in a room right next to it. And why did all of them have to do that? Like, all of them, and they all collapsed and died?
Yeah.
I mean, it's still less goofy.
Yeah.
It's still less goofy than I thought it was in episode 3, where they all just died from the fire in the same spot. It's a better, but it's still like, it's so goofy.
I mean, at least they explained it.
Yeah,
but
I'd rather have that than
like at what cost?
Yeah.
At what cost, though, is the thing.
Gosh.
I mean, we got a scene that looked like it was played in like a freshman high school drama. So
yeah, for real. Yeah.
I guess we got that.
Gosh.
Yeah.
This show, there's so much about this show.
Yeah.
So much about this show where it's like, it's almost good, but it's horrible. It's like there's ideas that they were just tweaked a bit, or something here was changed. It could have been great, but man, it's tragic.
It's also impossible to see what season 2 is going to be like, because pretty much like 95% of the supporting cast is dead. Jackie's gone, Yord's gone, all of those supporting Jedi and
Soul,
of course, Soul is gone.
Yeah, and I do not want to see a show. I do not want to see season 2 with Vanestra as a lead. Please, that sounds horrible. A Vanestra's actor, she like recast her or something. Oh my god! And also, I only want a season 2 because Plagueis, which is so cool. I hope that they tie in now that they have these twins that were made by the Force, I hope they tie something in with him and creating Anakin. I think that'd be really cool. Although, you know, the timeline's a little weird. If we get Tenebris, that would
Yeah.
also be awesome. I don't even know, but I just want to see something. And you know what's funny? The entire time for the show, I just wanted to see Yoda. And they put him
Yeah.
in at the last frame. Like, why?
Yeah, they just knew.
We need to talk. It shows him and then it just cuts to black. Like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Yeah,
It's shameless.
People say he's gonna have a more impact in season 2. I doubt he's gonna actually like do anything in season 2. I just don't really feel
he can't get
like Frank Oz. You know, Frank Oz is old as dirt, and Michael Caine can't voice act anymore. So it's like, yeah.
And it's also like he can't be involved too much because he can't know about the Sith at the end of the day. So how involved can he really get? I don't know.
Yeah. I also think that Vernestra they did such a horrible job with her, specifically in the last episode, because she knows that her former apprentice Kamir turned to the dark side, is a dark side warrior, and she just doesn't say anything about it. Like, what's the deal? Like,
that felt so shoehorned.
Also, yeah. Also, you know, the thing about Kamir being Venestra's apprentice, I predicted that so hard in episode 6 when we saw the scar on his back and we see that Venestra has a whip saber. That was kind of just too easy to put together. Now that you see it side by side.
So goofy. So, also, whip saber. Whatever. I don't care if it showed up before. It's stupid. It's horrible. Why? Yeah. That's so inefficient. Why would you want a whip saber? Anyways,
it's also like 100 times more volatile than than an actual.
What if you're just walking and it like hits your waist wrong and it goes like haywire and starts whipping you?
Yeah. You have an elastic kyber crystal, I guess.
Yeah. Also, you can't really whip with it because it would just cut through them. So I don't even know. Very silly weapon. Venestra's act is horrible. I don't know.
Yeah. You know, I want to say something about that, but you know, I'll save it till after the episode.
For sure.
Yeah. Only other things. I really wish. I kind of wish we explored whether or not Kamir and Plagueis have a connection. It doesn't really seem like they do because Plagueis tried really hard to stay hidden, and it just doesn't. But at the same time, Kamir knows the name of Sith, so it's like, you know, could you make a connection more revealing? Could you make it not? Like,
I mean, I think they just put him there just to have him, and they didn't want to lead to anything. They're gonna figure that out for season 2. But if they're going with the Legends timeline, Plagueis is gonna be really young, so I wouldn't be surprised if Plagueis and Kamir are sort of fighting for the apprentice spot for Tenebris, or maybe they're going to tweak the timeline, make him a bit older, you know, like they got Ki-Adi-Mundi in here. They could easily change the timeline, and maybe he is the master, maybe he's looking for an apprentice, who knows. But who knows.
Also, and then the final nail in the coffin for me is when Vernestra kind of just blamed Soul for everything that happened, like how she said Soul killed the other Jedi. Like, what man?
Done so dirty. On, I mean, they had to have a way to explain how the Jedi never found out. But you quite literally could have just had Venestra not have Kamir as her apprentice, and then she wouldn't have known about the Sith or anything. I don't know. Did Soul so dirty. He's not going to be the MC anymore, which is kind of tragic. So we'll see what happens with season 2.
Right. Yeah. So overall scoring, the plot was just, it could have been good, but it's just so all over the place. And
the flow was horrible.
It seems. It's like you just go in front of a vending machine and you stick an out of order sign on it. That's literally kind of what this show
horrible
was.
Pacing. The plot is like
and then characters. I could name one character that I think is distinctively good. The others are kind of just like,
Yeah,
whatever. Uh, I did like Yord. I did like Yord
yeah,
over a time, but it just seemed like Yord was just they kind of they kind of just threw him under the gutter because like they knew they wanted him to die, so they
yeah.
kind of just forced him to make bad decisions and
Yeah,
whatnot that led up to his death.
I
And then
liked Yord, but it felt like he didn't have he was just a tool for the writers. Like he didn't have an actual like mindset or anything. He just did whatever the writing required him to do, which was tragic because I thought he was pretty charismatic, decent character, Jackie too, but they felt like they were kind of just
yeah.
tools.
You also remember that one thing where that one like sort of implication of how Jackie and Osha were like building towards a
Oh,
romantic relationship or something like that, and then Jackie dies the next
yeah,
episode. Like, what was the point of that?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's just kind of weird. And
Interesting.
then the whole Osha and Kimir thing is just like,
Yeah,
what is this, man?
yeah, man. You want to give it a number ranking?
If I were to give it a number, I can rate certain aspects. The acting is a easy 2 out of 10.
Soul's acting was
Plot
great, by the way.
is
I want to say that.
yeah, plot is like a two. Honestly, everything is a 2 out of 10 for me. I gotta say,
I'm gonna give it.
yeah,
I'm gonna give it a 3 because I love the fight so much. I thought they were so cool. But I have
yeah,
monkey brain, so I like lightsabers swinging around.
yeah.
So yeah,
You
3 for
you
me.
you hear you. He has monkey brain. He likes lightsabers swinging around. That's why A
Yeah,
New Hope is his
that's
favorite
that's
movie.
why the whip
Uh,
saber is my favorite.
yeah.
um,
So, only other thing we're gonna talk about how we think this show compares to some of the other live action shows. Which I gotta be honest, it's not a lot of things. But we can say some things that other shows did a lot better than this show, and that's the reason. But I gotta say, just overall, on first viewing of the show, normally when I first view a Star Wars project, I pretty much always enjoy it to a certain extent,
mhm.
because I just like seeing new Star Wars content and whatnot. But like on for comparing to the other ones, Mandalorian I thought was really really good, Andor I thought was amazing, even though
Yeah,
it took a little bit to build up. Uh, like even the other ones that don't really seem to be very great among Star Wars fans, like Obi-Wan Kenobi had aspects that I really
yeah,
enjoyed. Boba Fett had aspects that I
yeah.
really enjoyed. This show didn't really have things that I very much enjoyed a lot.
And
It's
you're
just
not gonna
kind of
be
it kind of seems
rewatching.
stale.
Yeah,
It kind of just seems stale, and like you're not like super intrigued in this show from what I saw it as.
yeah.
So
Yeah, for me, man, I this is by far the worst show that I've watched. And yes, it's worse than Book of Boba Fett. That's crazy for me to say because I why is my camera being weird? I hate Book of Boba Fett, but that has aspects in it that are really great. Obi-Wan Kenobi has things in it that are really great. Yeah, even the lackluster ones, I think a more underrated show like Ahsoka, which I think is very underrated, a great show, has some great, great, great things in it. And this show that doesn't have anything that really sets itself out, sets itself
yeah, it doesn't
apart.
make it stand out.
And
And it had potential
it did,
because this show is set in a completely different universe compared to the other ones. Like the other like most of the shows like Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, and Ahsoka are set at around the same time. And then like there's
there we go.
also Andor as well.
Yeah.
Uh but this show set at a completely different time, but at the same time it doesn't set anything that like makes it super distinct.
Yeah, this
So it's just
show,
like
honestly, it had the potential. The only chain holding it down was that the Jedi couldn't learn about the Sith. And this show was so far removed from the timeline that they could have all they had to do was just make a good show. They had entirely new characters. They could have done so much with development. There was no excuse for this to be bad. Um, I just think with other shows that are tied down, other shows in the Skywalker saga that are tied down to the rules of that, where Darth Vader can't die, you can't do this, the Empire can't do that, the Republic can't do this, and this show had none of those constraints, and it felt like even being so um, open, it didn't take advantage of the opportunity it had. Um,
Yeah.
Kind of disappointing, but yeah, that's just it.
Yeah, another critique that a few people have said, but not very many, is that they don't really like how they're trying to explore High Republic, but like at the same time, like High Republic, Disney's gonna make it because Disney's gonna make content on it because Disney is the one that made it. It
Yeah,
wasn't a George Lucas thing; it was them. Old Republic, of course, was set thousands of years before Clone Wars and Phantom Menace and whatnot, and then this one is only set 100. So it's like, what's that gap year look like? Force, they have a bunch of books on it. I have not read any of them. I don't really have super interest in them. And then the only other time that we've seen them in like mainstream Star Wars media was Jedi Survivor, but at the same time, that was sort of like a specific thing that the High Republic was trying to do rather than them themselves. And then this basically spawned in the basis of the High Republic on Coruscant. They're trying to discover or like investigate a crisis, and it just seemed like it wasn't needed because they were conflicted, they were constrained with a sole purpose that they're not supposed to find out that the Sith are working around. And to me, it's just like, well, what would be the villain of the show then? And that's another reason why I just think the villains on the show are so unappealing because
yeah.
they just don't really seem like it.
Yeah, I think the show definitely should have been more centered around the Sith and the Jedi. I mean, it's called the Acolyte. I think that would have given it more freedom. But the fact that there was literally one constraint to the show and they couldn't follow it without messing up is really disappointing. It's not that difficult. At the end of the day, they literally could have just said, "Oh, the Jedi covered it up." That's all they had to do. Um, yeah, disappointing show.
Yeah.
It's gonna get a season 2. I don't really care because make the season 2. It doesn't really connect with the rest of the timeline, so you may as well. I'll watch it, whatever. But hey,
I'm, I mean, if you ain't spending my money, you can spend it all, honey.
exactly, yeah.
That's basically what it is.
As long as you keep
Uh,
making the Heir to the Empire movie and the Mando movie, we're good.
yeah, pretty much. So yeah, that's gonna be it for our Acolyte discussion. Basically, briefed over the finale as well as our overall thoughts on the show. Looking back on it, let's get into our short segments. Don't try it. I need you to name me the
Nice.
top 10 Star Wars memes according to Screen Rant.
Ooh, okay. Screen Rant. These guys always make interesting lists. Semi-valid lists. Okay, so coming up, can I get hello there?
Yes, that is number 5. Good start.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, number 5. Okay. A little lower than I thought, but can I get I have the high ground?
Yes, that is number 4. Step
Okay.
up.
Okay.
And I would definitely think that movie for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. Trying to think more surface level right now.
I can think of something substance of surface that has to do with the surface.
It has to do with the surface.
A certain
Interesting.
a certain
Yeah.
thing that you can walk on.
Yeah. Can I? No, I don't want to say that one. A certain thing. I don't even know what you're talking about. But if I'm thinking of
something a specific person doesn't like.
yeah, but that's a different movie. Yeah, but you're right. Can I have sand? The sand. I don't like sand.
Yeah, I don't like sand is number 2. Yes.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. That's like probably the most iconic besides hello there. Um, any Phantom Menace? I'm trying to just cut movies off. I don't think there's nothing too crazy from that movie. Might go back to that.
Mm.
Attack of the Clones. We got Sand. That's the main one. Oh, I don't know if this one will be on here. I want to wait. I want to wait for that one. Can I have Sith Lords are our speciality? I don't know if that's going to be here, but
No, that
okay,
one's not
okay,
here.
okay.
There are a couple more from Revenge of the Sith, though. I will say that.
Oh, do it.
No, that's not here.
What? Okay,
No,
that's crazy.
there is another thing that that particular character says.
What other Palpatine line would there be? Unlimited power? Is that here?
No, not that.
Unlimited power.
It
That's a crazy
revolves.
list.
It revolves around a specific character that we've seen very recently in Star Wars.
Okay, well, you don't have to give me this many hits, but yes, Dark Plague, Tragedy, and Dark Plague is the Wise. I can't believe
Yes,
neither.
that is number 8.
Neither Do It or Unlimited Power here. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else in that movie? I'm thinking Senate, but I don't want not Senate. I'm thinking something, but I don't want to say that. There's not much from the original.
There are 2 more things from Revenge of the Sith.
There's not
I think
much from the original trilogy. We have most things in the original trilogy like heavily quoted, but not necessarily like memes.
I wouldn't waste your time thinking original trilogy.
Yeah, I'm just trying to cover my bases. Yeah, and then I don't think there's going to be much in sequels. I'm going to go back to Revenge of the Sith. I'm thinking. Oh, can I get your lightsabers and make a fine addition? Is that on here?
No, not that.
What the heck? This
Not
list
that.
is cooked.
Yeah.
Okay, well then can I have you're on this council, but we don't grant you the rank of master?
Yes, that is number 6. Good job.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this list is cooked. What else? There's one more thing from Revenge of the Sith.
There is one more meme that takes place in the same room that meme that you just said takes place in. I will say that.
Oh, it's a different meme though. That's weird.
It's a different meme.
Oh, geez, I can't even think. The Wookiees, the defense of the Kashyyyk of the, what Kiadamundi says, whatever he says.
No, not that.
What about the droid attack and the Wookiees? That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Not that. It does involve Anakin though.
It's not about. It's not about granting the rank of master. Is it just Is it not? Does it not include? Is it not like specifically the dialogue that's iconic about this? It's like the thing. It's what like
it's yeah.
Yeah. So is it the
so.
Youngling Slayer?
Yeah,
Okay.
That's number 1.
That's number 1. Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I think you are done with Revenge of the Sith. Oh wait, no, you have one more thing at Revenge of the Sith.
Okay, another.
And it also involves Anakin again.
Also involves Anakin. Well, I don't think we're gonna get anything from the opening of the movie. I don't know if that's on here. Oh no, wait.
Go backtrack.
I don't know.
You said the opening of the movie.
Yeah. Oh, it's this is where the fun begins.
It's the first. Yeah, that's number 3.
Okay.
Yep. Now all you're missing is 7, 9, and 10. Number 7 is actually like a newer meme. It's like a newer meme template, but it's not necessarily from a newer project.
Okay.
I would say I
Okay.
would say this meme went. It's I would say this meme went really like viral in 2022. I would say,
2022.
uh, and it involves two characters from the prequel trilogy.
Oh, in 2022? Is that the
I think.
okay?
Yeah.
Is that the Anakin and Padme conversation in like the planes?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's titled Anakin makes Padme concerned.
yeah.
That's number
You
7.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one. That was good.
Yeah. Number 9 and 10. Number 10, I know you're going to get. It's not prequels, I will tell you that. Not actually neither of these are prequels.
Okay,
Number 9, I really don't think you'll get this one, but
okay,
number 10, I know for a fact you can.
okay. So are these sequel quotes we're looking for here?
One of them is a sequel quote.
Okay, that's probably the one you want me to get. Um, oh God, there's multiple ones. There's a few from there's not really any from Force Awakens, kind of a boring movie in terms of memes. Um,
It's not from
so
that.
right now, the ones I'm deciding between are the Rose line, Palpatine line, or They Fly Now. Can I get somehow Palpatine
You
returned?
That is number
Okay,
10, yes.
okay,
And then number 9, I'll give you a couple. I'll give you quite a few hints because I really don't think you're gonna get this
okay.
one. It's from Mandalorian season 1. Is where this is from.
Ooh, Mando season 1. Okay. Um. Oh, it's
This was this.
no, it's from what's his name, babysitter guy. It's I Have Spoken. No,
No,
nah.
not
Okay,
that.
okay.
This meme was very popular when this episode specifically came out. It's from episode 7 of season 1. I'll tell you that.
Oh, I'm trying to think back. That was a long time ago. That was like, I was like a little
Yeah.
goober. I watched like meme compilations, but I didn't watch like. Okay. Okay. Wait. Okay. So episode 7. Oh, is it You Have Something I
Season 1
Want?
episode.
Is it when he goes on that
No.
monologue? No.
No.
It's from episode 7. So I got to get it at some point.
I'll give you a minute to see if you can get this.
Okay.
But
It's wait, it's not from episode 4 cuz I was thinking like when he sipped the soup, but that's episode 4. Episode 7. I can't
I'll give you this one last hint.
Okay.
It was spoken from Werner Herzog's character, the client, the old client guy.
Oh, may I see the baby?
Okay, I'll give it to you. I would like to see the baby. That's number 9.
That is I remember that, but that one never like caught my attention. That wasn't like yeah, that's funny.
I would like to see the baby.
Putting that one over some of the other ones is putting that over Unlimited Power is crazy.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie. Mother Anna Smokia, name me the top 10 best pilots in the Star Wars universe according to Screen Rant. Pretty easy list.
You see this guy?
Pretty easy list. There's only
See him?
he sees me. There's only one like out of the ordinary here. You should be able to get this pretty easily.
This guy's disgracing your boy's name.
Yeah.
Can I get Han Solo to start out?
Yeah, Han Solo is really low on this list, but he is number 7.
Yeah. Okay, I'll just name some of the obvious ones. Luke, Anakin.
Yep.
Poe.
Luke, Anakin. So Luke is number 5, Anakin's number 1, and Poe is number 6.
What about Wedge Antilles?
Wedge is number 4.
Other ones, Hera.
Hera's number 3.
I'd have to guess. Yeah. I've pretty much gotten all the like extraordinary pilots. The only, if I had to guess.
Yeah, you've gotten the top. You've gotten 1, and then you've gotten 3 through 7. So you're missing 2, 8, 9, 10. 2 is the only one that I think is a little bit of a stretch. But 8, 9, 10
really?
are pretty regular. Your number 8,
okay.
Your number 8 prominently flies in the movies.
Prominently flies in the movies. Gotcha. Is it Lando? Is Lando
here? No,
here?
it's not Lando. Although he probably could have made it.
Is it Chewie then?
Chewie's your number 10. That's a good pull. But there's one more
Okay.
character we're looking for
Yeah.
that flies.
Predominantly flies in the movies. The only other one I think of is like Obi-Wan. Is it Obi-Wan? Obi-Wan?
No, think okay,
No.
think on the line of Chewbacca. Like think
On the line of
think
Chewbacca, like co-pilots.
just think around Chewbacca, like the characters.
Really?
The characters that he is around in the movies.
Are you talking about a solo character?
No.
No, okay. I've already guessed Luke. It's not Leia, is it?
No, it's
Leia's
not
the only
Leia.
one
It's not
that,
Leia.
oh, then it's Rey, I guess.
It's Rey. Number 8. So all you have left is your 2 and your 9. Your 2 is from
9.
the prequels, and your 9 is from a live action show.
My 2 is from the prequels. Is it a?
It is a Jedi.
Oh, well,
it's
okay,
a Jedi.
well.
It's a Jedi that.
It's a. Really?
Okay, your 2 died in Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, is it Plo Koon?
It is Plo Koon. Don't know why he's number 2.
Oh.
That is such a weird thing.
I mean, the only things he flown in was Malevolence arc, and that's it.
And
like, that's the only.
He got shot. He got shot down with no. He didn't fight back at all.
No hesitate. Like, yeah.
Yeah, and then your number 9 is. Your number. Yeah, I can't give that away. Your number 9's in a Disney a live action show.
Is it from like a Is it from like a pretty recent project, like within like the past 3 years?
Yeah. A live action show. Yeah.
It's Din Djarin.
Yeah.
It's Mandalorian.
Yeah. Yeah, number 9.
Okay. Yeah.
There you go.
Nice.
All right. Yeah.
Blind tier list, too good, too mid, too bad. We're doing Battlefront 2 hero maps.
Okay.
All right. First up, we have Mos Eisley Tatooine.
Ooh. See, this one is. So, are we're talking HVV here or just in general?
Heroes versus villains. Yeah.
Okay. So, this map is a well-designed map, but the problem is that if you're playing with really good people, they just sit in the cantina or sit outside in that one open area. It's not a horrible map, but I'll just put it mid. I'll put it mid. Be a little generous.
Okay. All right. Second up, we got Camino.
This is a love-hate map. I think it's the inside sections and the sections where you can't get ledged are really good, but it feels like you have to always constantly watch your step, and people are trying to ledge constantly. And it's not a great environment. A lot of those maps where you're constantly getting ledged are never like great experiences. But I like it more than Mos Eisley, so I might have messed myself up here, but I'm putting it mid.
All right, you got 2 mid already. We got next up we have Kessel.
Okay, Kessel. Good map. The ledging is not absurd here. There is one ledge. If you get ledged on this map, it's probably your fault. There's only really one spot where it can happen. Yeah, it's pretty cool. The devs love putting the Falcon literally everywhere on every map. But it's pretty cool. Decent little map. I will put it goated though. I will.
Well, at least they love, because them boys ain't there anymore.
Yeah.
Next up is Starkiller Base.
Okay. This is another good map. This is a map that I feel I rarely ever get. I feel like I never really get to play this one. But I think it's pretty good. I really messed myself up putting Mos Eisley at mid, but this cannot go bad. This map is not bad. It is a very balanced map. It's like literally just a flat plane. You can't really go wrong playing Starkiller. I've never queued for Starkiller and been like, I don't want to play Starkiller. Always down for some Starkiller. It's going and goated. So what am I have 2 bats.
They don't put it they don't put it on this map, but they put us on Jabba's Palace in Felucia every day.
Yep.
Uh, next up is Hoth.
Okay. Well, I only have 2 slots yet left. Hoth. I don't hate Hoth. But I think bad's okay for that.
Yep.
And
And then last one, I know you definitely agree with this. It's Felucia.
yeah, that's probably the worst. No, not the worst. The ship maps are worse, but that's the worst ground map for sure. All right. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Blind tier list: these
Nice.
6 Star Wars Fortnite skins. Good or goated,
Okay.
mid, and bad. All right.
Yeah, let's do it.
Coming up first, we have Kylo Ren.
Oh, okay. I used this one for a little bit, like quite a few months ago. It's a good skin. I just don't use the cape with it because I just don't like wearing
For sure.
capes. But yeah, the default Kylo skin, I think it's good. Is it a top 2 skin? It's above average, I'll say, but it's not one of the best. I don't think. I'll put it in the middle.
Okay, in mid. All right, and then coming up next, you have Ahsoka.
Oh man. I gotta keep it a buck. Ahsoka is one of the worst ones, I gotta say, because mainly because not so much of her appearance in general, but she has like baggy clothing and whatnot.
For sure.
And also, yeah, just there's nothing like terrible about the skin, but
Just mama
I
mid.
just don't really like using it myself. I'm gonna put it in bad.
All right. Coming up next, you have the clone troopers, all of the skins, because they're all the same, just reskinned.
Oh, 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 that's going in good. That's going in good free.
Okay.
I mean, like you
Okay.
can't go wrong with wearing a clone
Okay.
trooper. Like no matter what it is, even though you can't see the face in game, so like it doesn't make a huge difference. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like the skin for sure.
Okay. Coming up next, you have the Sith trooper.
Sith trooper. I gotta keep it a buck. I would like the skin, except if it wasn't so bright red and so easy to see on the map. It kind of just weighs it down, but like the skin in itself is not bad, but that's sort of glaring. I do have to put it in mid though, for sure.
Okay. Coming up next, you have Luke Dagobah.
Okay. Now this is the part where I see if Code is playing mind games with me. So because Dagobah Luke is my second favorite Star Wars skin. I will say he is my second favorite one. I think he's just so clean. But I'm already put in a bad spot because he deserves to be good, obviously. But with the consequences, I'll put it in bad.
You'll put it in bad? Okay. So
yeah, I'll put it in bad.
Yeah, you made the right choice there because I was playing a dirty hand. Your last good is the Padme skin.
Right. Code Dinjarin, I need you to blind rank me these 5 live action Star Wars seasons.
Okay.
First up, you have Ahsoka season 1.
Yeah, certainly an underrated season in my opinion. It's nothing great. I mean, it's good, but I don't think it lives up to your Mando season 1 and 2. But that being said, there are not a lot of live action shows at this point. I'm going to keep it safe. I want to put it at 2, but I'm putting it at 3. Put it at 3.
All right. Next up, you have Mandalorian season 3.
Okay. Are we doing 5 or 6?
5.
Okay.
This is 5.
Mandalorian season 3. The only there are a few things worse than this. I'm thinking Obi-Wan, I'm thinking Boba Fett and Acolyte. There are things to be liked in this season, but it's very lackluster. Yeah, I'll put it at 4.
Okay. The reason why I am doing 5 instead of 6 is because there's only 8 options.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
6, and it could be pretty predictable
For sure,
at that point.
For sure.
Next up, you already have 3 and 4. Your third thing is Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Okay, so that'll go on my 5. That show is very disappointing.
Yep. So only 1 and 2 left. Next up, you have Mandalorian season 1.
Yeah, that's the greatest live action show, in my opinion, or season. In my opinion, it's close with Andor. I mean, those two, they it depends on the day for me. But Mando season one, it's a contained story that has some very very high highs. It's very consistent. There's not a single bad episode. Flows very well. I'm gonna put that at one.
And I really like the train of thought that you were going down because at your number 2 is going to be Andor. So
I
yeah,
think that's a perfect. I mean, you could switch Andor in one, but I think that's a pretty good list.
I think that's a
That
perfect
would
list. I
be
got to keep it a
that. That's
buck.
my perfect list. That's my perfect list for
All right,
sure.
I
Smoke Naka. Blind rank these 5 Star Wars characters. All right. Coming up
all right.
first, we have May Anasea.
Oh my gosh, yeah. You're leaving me for a loop because you're just saying characters. It literally can be anything. It could be Grease. It could be Grease Dritus. It could be Colonel Meeber Gascon.
Is there any
It
character
could be
worse than May?
Anakin.
Is there any character worse than May? Think about that for a
No,
second.
May is. I'm putting May at 5,
All right.
and I'm
All right.
leaving with no
All
regrets.
right. Coming up next, we have Rose Tico.
Rose Tico. Oh my! What are you doing with it? What is this order that you put them in? uh, Rose Tico. To be fair, she's not as bad of a character as most people think she is. I just think the writing that they put behind her is really bad. But I still have no idea. I'm just gonna put it at 4. Like I don't really know where
Okay.
you're going with this.
All right. Coming up next is Basil.
No, why are you doing? Okay, Basil low key. Basil low key would go under. Oh my god, what are you doing? Basil would low key go under Rose Tico, if I had to say. But if Basil's like, there's nothing special about this goober. Like sometimes you gotta have a tracker to track the tracker. So I guess I'll put Basil at 3. Like I don't know.
Coming up next, we have Turgle.
Oh, Turgle's not bad. Turgle's my guy, man. Turgle, don't disrespect my guy, Turgle.
I'm not disrespecting him.
Don't put Turgle in the same sentence as whatever Beaver Basil
this is just a list. This is just a list of characters, dude. There's no particular bias for this one.
You know what? I'm gonna put some respect on his name. Turgle's number 1, man. Right. Turgle's number 1.
And last but not least, your number 2 is Cal Kestis. So.
He's trolling the American.
Oh, good. Oh.
He's trolling me.
Did I cook with that order? Did I cook with that order?
No, no, it's burnt. You left the instructions said 30 minutes. You left that oven on for an hour. Oh
I had to make him think it was a list of bad characters, and then give him a slightly better character, so he'll put it at number 1, and then sabotage him with the good character at the end. It's just my 5-head plan.
Subjects. Was that the Code? I have 8 subjects, and you need to try to guess them in 16 words or less.
All right.
First one. Sabine.
It's not going to be something. If it was Mandalorian, you would have gone Jango or Boba. Maybe it's that. It's either Mandalorian. It could be Mandalore. No, I think I'm gonna go Mandalorian. Can I go Mandalorian?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so that's 2 words.
Next up,
or 1 word.
No,
word.
That's just 1
word.
That's just 1.
Yep.
All right. Next up, Magistrate.
Magistrate. That's what's her. I can't even think right now. Oh my god, you guys know how I am with names, but I know who it is. I promise. Hold on a second. Um,
If you also need to, you can just skip
can we?
and
Can we? So
see.
you said magistrate?
Magistrate. Yep.
Okay. Morgan Elsbeth.
No. Navarro.
Oh, Navarro. So it has to be Grief Cargo. Am I tripping?
Yes.
Okay.
Grief cargo.
Okay.
All right, that's 3. Next up,
All right.
assassin.
Assassin. There's a couple that come to mind. I hope you didn't do May. That'd be horrible. You would have said Acolyte if it was May though. So assassin. When I think of assassin, um, I'm thinking Django. I'm thinking Maul. I'm thinking Ventress. I'm thinking uh, who else would be an assassin? Wouldn't think bounty hunter unless it's Django. Yeah, you know what? Can I get Django? Django Fett? I don't know if it is, but okay,
Not Jago.
okay.
Next up, woman.
Woman. Okay, so it's an assassin woman. So at this point, I'm thinking either Zam Wessel or Ventress. I think Zam Wessel's more well known for assassin jury. So can I get Zam Wessel?
No, it's not
Oh,
Zam Wessel.
whoa! All right.
Uh,
Wow.
Next up, Tatooine.
Oh, Tatooine. So female assassin Tatooine. What am I even thinking here?
Very predominantly on Tatooine.
Very predominantly. That's weird. Um, why can't I think of this? For some reason, I can't. I'm trying to think of all our depictions of Tatooine. Uh, a female assassin on Tatooine. Nothing from nothing from A New Hope. I don't think. Um, is it?
It's
Is
just,
it?
I think it's going like way past your head.
You said very predominantly, which keeps me from saying this character. This character kind of only is in a cameo. It's going over my
I think
head.
it's going over your head.
Let's come
Yeah.
back to it. Let's come back to it. Let's move on to the next one.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. 4th word for this one, Mandalorian.
Oh wait, we're still on the same. Okay, we're still on the same. I was gonna say move on to the next one, but wait. So now we're Mandalorian. Am I bugging
Yeah.
Tatooine? This is going right over my head. This is something very obvious that people are probably yelling at me for. Um, like, what are you doing, dude? Female assassin Mandalorian
Tatooine. Not
Tatooine.
necessarily a
Just
Mandalorian,
affiliated
I'll
in
say.
some way. A female. Oh, it's Fennec Shand.
It
What
is
am I
Fennec Shand,
doing?
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right. Next one, Steel.
Steel. Steel, as in STEL
As
or
in
take.
as in the material.
Steel.
STEEL.
Steel, as in the material. Ooh, this might be an Acolyte thing with them saying like steel or something may break. This might be a. Maybe these are droids, but that seems way too broad. Um, steel, steel. Yeah, can. Oh wait, no. Can I get Din Djarin?
No.
Okay.
So first one is Steel. Second one, Mandalorian.
Okay, so it's a different Mando. I was thinking Beskar Steel, and that's kind of the first person that comes to mind. But it's Mando.
I wouldn't think I wouldn't think a person.
It's Mandal. Oh, is it just Beskar Steel? Okay, I was.
It's
So
Beskar.
I
Yep.
was still. I was
All
still
right.
thinking on characters. Okay, so it's not just characters.
All right. I don't want to say this word, but I know you will get this if I say
How
this
many do we
word.
have left?
Cake.
How many more do we have left? How many?
Uh, you've said 9
I've
words,
said 9 words,
so
and we have how many things left?
or I've said 9. You get you're halfway there,
Oh man.
and
Okay.
you have 7 words remaining.
Okay.
So
So you
the
said
word that I just said is
cake.
cake.
Can I get Bo-Katan? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yes. All right. Next up, Padawan.
Ahsoka. Okay.
Yes. So that's 11. You got 5 words for 2 things.
Okay. This is light. This is
Next
light.
up. Next up, Coruscant.
Coruscant. This might be going back. This might be staying on characters. When you think of Coruscant, I don't know what character you think of. Maybe it's a thing. Coruscant. Okay, I'm just gonna take a shot in the dark here. No, you would have said something different if it was who I'm thinking of. Um, we have a couple words to spare here, but let's Coruscant, 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 Coruscant. Don't think it's Yoda. Maybe we'll get there. I don't think it's Mace. Can I get Palpatine?
Now Palpatine. No. Next up, location.
Coruscant location. Okay, Jedi Temple. Okay.
Yes, Jedi Temple. I know you're probably gonna get this one in one word, but you
Okay.
got 3. Next up, last up, Purge.
Jedi Purge. Close.
Close.
I mean, it's a different
Next
thing.
up,
Is it Purge Trooper? I don't need the other word.
number.
Oh, Purge number. Oh, it's Order 66. Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
That is the list.
This one, unfortunately, is a 2-worder. Let's go Space Station.
Death Star.
Correct. That's good. All right, that's 2 words. Coming up next, we have. I think we're gonna count this as 1 word. You might have to flag me for it, but that's what we got.
Well, okay.
I'll do it again if you want.
Darth Vader.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Coming up next, we have Thrawn ship.
Chimera.
Yep, that's 5.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Coming up next, how do I convey this precisely? This might be another 2-worder, to be honest. Try not to. Okay, I'm gonna pray you get this. You have experienced this thing enough. I think you're gonna be able to get it. I'm just gonna say Empire Blaster.
You got to be careful with this. E11.
Yes, good. Okay. Oh man, I chose a lot of 2-worders here. I'm gonna hope I think you've done enough research for this one. I'm gonna give you Andor Simp.
Wait, what?
Andor Simp.
Andor. What the heck? This is definitely a character. Is it? Yeah, this is definitely a character. Is it Dedra Miro?
No.
No.
Um. Oh man, how do I? Okay, so I said Andor Simp. I'm
Yeah,
just.
you're throwing me for a loop on
I don't
this
know.
one.
I don't know how to say it more. It's once you'll get it, you'll know. Uh, Male.
Cyril.
Yeah, Cyril Karn, because he simps for
Okay,
Dedra.
okay, yeah. I
Did,
was I was it was in between those two.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
So we are at 10 words with 3 things. I think we got this. All right.
Yeah.
Coming up next, we have um. I'm gonna keep it simple with this one. Jedi killers.
Jedi killers. Inquisitors.
Yep. The key was the
Yep.
S in there. Um, but let me make sure that this is what I'm thinking of. Okay, it is. I think you can get this. Dianoga.
Trash compactor.
Yes, very good. All right, and last but not least,
Got 3 words for this next one. Let's go.
uh, mm, how do I portray this? Empire jetpack.
What the heck? Uh Empire jetpack.
This is a pretty simple one. I think you can get it.
Is it jet trooper?
Yeah, just an Imperial jet trooper. I'll give that
Okay.
to you.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. All right,
13
everybody.
words.
Thank you once again for joining us for episode 15 of Ramblers Radio. This was one of my personal favorite episodes,
Yeah,
I
this
have
is
to
fun.
say. I had a lot of fun recording this. Make sure if you are enjoying the podcast, make sure to like the episode and subscribe if you are on YouTube. And if you are on Spotify, please rate the episode 5 stars. It'll greatly appreciate we will greatly appreciate it a lot. With that being said, we're going to come back next week with a completely new topic. Acolyte is over, so we don't really have any big things going on. So yeah, we'll just keep you surprised.
Yep.
With that being said, we will see you all later.
See ya.
Peace.